There was instant conjecture about how, and when Mark Harmon may reprise his role as NCIS protagonist Leroy Jethro Gibbs in a future episode after Gibbs departed the program in the 2021 episode Great Wide Open, to seek adventure and tranquility in rural Alaska. Rather, Harmon made a comeback as the narrator of the prequel series NCIS Origins, which starts in 1991, when a younger Gibbs, played by Austin Stowell, was processing the deaths of his wife and daughter and started his investigative career with the Naval Investigative Services NIS Camp Pendleton branch, which was the forerunner to NCIS. Because of the way NCIS Origins is structured, viewers may appreciate the prequel without having seen NCIS. Consequently, even though Gibbs' past has been thoroughly examined on NCIS, viewers who haven't seen NCIS before will only be surprised by the storyline twists in NCIS Origins, particularly with regard to Gibbs' search for his family's murderer. Furthermore, since the prequel follows the same case of the weak procedural structure as NCIS, one of the only unexpected elements is the prequel's investigators' use of now antiquated early 1990s technology. When paired with the prequel's characters' distinctly modern attitudes and sensibilities, this makes NCIS Origins feel as though it is trapped in a time warp. Like many prequels, NCIS Origins is cloaked in a feeling of inevitable fate, which is heightened by the fact that Leroy Jethro Gibbs, the show's protagonist, is among the most recognizable figures in television history. NCIS Origins is somewhat predictable. Although the audience's deep understanding of Gibbs' later past from the show's 19 seasons undoubtedly creates drama and interest in terms of illustrating the younger Gibbs' growth. This is particularly true given Gibbs' sad background, including the murders of his wife Shannon and daughter Kelly by Pedro Hernandez, a Mexican drug dealer. This material has been extensively covered on NCIS, where the two-part third season finale, Hiatus, first reveals the murder of Gibbs' family and how Gibbs got revenge by killing Hernandez with a sniper rifle in Mexico. However, Gibbs' grief over the loss of his daughter and wife, and his quest for revenge against Hernandez, is supposed to serve as the central conflict on NCIS Origins throughout at least the show's first season. In addition to Gibbs, Special Agent Mike Franks, portrayed by Muse Watson on NCIS and Kyle Schmid on the prequel series, is the most significant character in NCIS Origins. Audiences were shocked when Franks was killed in the Season 8 NCIS episode Swan Song, while trying to capture a serial killer, only to reappear as a figment of Gibbs' imagination. Franks became a fan favorite after being introduced as Gibbs' former mentor and partner in the third season of NCIS. Franks, who was tasked with looking into the death of Gibbs' family and giving Gibbs information about the killer's location, sees a lot of potential in the emotionally broken Gibbs in NCIS Origins. The two develop a strong friendship. One of the most interesting elements of NCIS Origins has been the developing friendship between Franks and Gibbs, as the younger Frank's feisty, straightforward demeanor effectively contrasts with the younger Gibbs' recognizable stoicism. After saying farewell to his NCIS comrades, Mark Harmon's Leroy Jethro Gibbs is shown sitting around a campfire in the isolated wilderness of Alaska in the first episode of NCIS Origins. This is where viewers last saw Gibbs. The infamously reserved Gibbs, who can be seen writing in a notebook, then begins to explain how he came to be the person that viewers have come to know so well over the course of more than 2 decades. One of the main issues with NCIS Origins is that, despite Gibbs' declaration that he is eager to reveal his secrets while he is still living, almost everything he could potentially discuss and write about is now standard knowledge for seasoned NCIS watchers. Furthermore, Gibbs violates a crucial rule of his about looking back by telling his narrative. Unless living in Alaska has altered Gibbs more than anybody could have predicted, it doesn't seem like he would ever take on the job of storyteller. Although the sequences involving the younger Gibbs benefit greatly from Harmon's raspy voice, his presence also overshadows Austin Stowell, his successor, whose attempts to evoke a feeling of loss and melancholy are occasionally overshadowed by Harmon's narration. This can only occur if the program grows less reliant on Harmon's narration, since the long-term success of NCIS Origins hinges on Stowell's ability to become associated with the position of Gibbs. This is especially true given that Harmon and the large, intimidating Stowell don't physically resemble one another. The sixth entry in the franchise, NCIS Origins, would have made a strong launch if it had been the original NCIS series. Even without Mark Harmon, the franchise doesn't appear to be slowing down, thus Origins, one of 3 shows that presently air alongside NCIS and NCIS Sydney, seems kind of pointless. The prequel's awkward position within the franchise is highlighted by the fact that CBS cancelled the thrilling spin-off NCIS Hawaii effectively to make room for the backward NCIS Origins. Although NCIS Tony and Ziva is set almost 10 years in the past, the spin-off, in contrast to NCIS Origins, appears to be full of surprises, which further suggests that the franchise is better served by looking ahead rather than dwelling on the past. The increased level of anticipation for the upcoming spin-off, NCIS, Tony and Ziva, also marks the return of beloved characters Anthony DiNazzo and Ziva David. Every Monday, CBS broadcasts NCIS Origins, which is also available to view on Paramount.